In our American Indian communities, our children are surrounded by wonderful resources. Right in your own home, sometimes, there are people who know a great deal about our very own tribes, about our land, the language, about traditions that are so important to learn about, ways of living that have brought our people thousands of years. I guess when I talk to my nieces and nephews and my grandchildren, I say, be daring, turn the TV off, take a couple of days break from the cable TV, and listen to your elders. Consider this. There are many of our elders who were raised by their grandparents. People in our communities who are 65, 75, maybe 80, raised by their grandparents. Their grandparents were raised by their grandparents. In 3 or 4 generational skips, you can connect to the people in the Buffalo Days. You could know the war deeds of some of our most famous warriors. You could know the medicines of some of our lady medicine people just by asking your grandmother, who was raised by her grandmother, who was raised by her grandmother. And sometimes you think, well, Grandma, you know, it's a long way from the Buffalo Days, or a long way from the days of our strongest traditions. But it isn't. And you yourself, if you're raised by your grandparents, you have a window into a world of our most beautiful traditions, our most useful and strong traditions, strong spirituality, and you in turn can know these things and hand them on to new generations. Another part of advice that I would make is that there are so many ways in which our lives are filled with temptation to do dangerous things, to put our lives at risk. Drugs and alcohol and gambling, those things that are really harmful to each individual that's involved with them or in our community as a whole. While there are temptations, there are ways to say no to all of that, to enjoy our culture, its music and its dance. There's a huge out of doors in almost all Indian country. Find out about our sacred places, where the battles were fought, where special events happened. The land is a beautiful place to be, and there's so much of our nature to partake in. Become involved in ceremonies. Know where the elders are. And be involved in prayer, in spiritual ways. These are the things that our Creator and our elders have given us that make us strong. Those would be the things that I would say. The warrior ways, the richness of music and dance, the access to spiritual expression in our communities, all of those things and the values of American Indian living, those are what make an American Indian person who they are.